Okay, this is the second of our lockdown interviews with the committee members, and we're out on the Peak Forest Canal. We've got a little bit of extra freedom at the moment, so Dave Partington and I are riding out to see Tony Cravagan in his house in the outskirts of Stockport. David, how's lockdown been for you?
How's lockdown been? It's been strange in a lot of ways as far as walking football is concerned. We've not got out there, obviously doing as we're told. How's it been for me? Being retired, it's not made a great deal of difference other than when you go shopping, there's queues there and what have you. It's got to be accepted, it's got to be done. Not a great deal of difference really, I have to say.
Is there any particular restriction you found hardest to take?
Family, not seeing the family. I had two grandsons. My eldest was 18 last week. My youngest one was 8, and we didn't have a party. We normally throw a family party. That we missed. That's another tough one. Each people have, I think there's a lot of information coming out. Do this, do that. A lot of people don't understand it. I was disappointed to see crowds on the beaches. Social distancing has to be done, and like I say, lots of people, especially my age, seem to abide by that. I think the younger ones think they're not going to get anything, they're not vulnerable to anything, which I understand at their age. We probably were the same when we were 18, 17, 16. They think every day, you know, nothing's going to happen to me, and I do understand it a little bit. Also, after saying that, there's a lot of kids that are concerned, and my own grandkids are very, very aware of it and will keep distance, and have done without family. Yet I see others at Tesco's and different places just getting too much involved and too close to one another. Social distancing is going to be a big part of his life, I think, for a while anyway, yeah.
I think you're
Oh, when I left school, I started for British Rail. My dad was all on the railway. I didn't last long there. I was in the signal box, probably lasted a day. I hated it, just in that signal box. Ding, ding, train up, ding, one train down, pull this, pull that. I thought, this is not for me. So I left there, and I think I got a job on the local co-op milk as a driver's mate, delivering milk for a couple of years. I actually loved that, being out in the fresh air. Not much of a future for anybody, but I enjoyed it. From there, I went working for a firm called Yorkshire Egg Packing Company, again as a driver's mate, and that's where I learnt to drive. And as a salesman, I got my own round delivering. Just before I met Elaine, I was working for Hill's Biscuits. Well, I think I got married, I was working for Hill's Biscuits. No, I had quite a few jobs, to be honest with you. I did work for Hill's Biscuits, and I got all over the country. I met Elaine, and then I got a job at Courtaulds for 2 or 3 years, and I would a great job that. 12-hour shifts. Well, it was 12 hours. I was on regular days. My dad got me a job there. It was a great local company, not local, but in the Droylsden community, it was a big local employer, and a lot of people worked there. 12-hour shifts, never closed. It's just at weekend. But it was a busy place with Courtaulds then, and I probably would have stuck that out a bit longer until they went on the 3-shift system.
And after that you went back to the road?
After that I got a job doing little bits of driving, and then a friend of mine who threw football asked me did I fancy coming to help him out or going up to for an interview at Bredbury, Oldmore Road, and it was a chap called Edgar Snar, and his company was called Shah Fuel Oils. It was a Bedford TK. With him for about 5 years. British Fuel Company took over, that was Amoco, and then we went on to Shell, and I stayed with them until I retired.
Okay.
Yeah, whilst I was tanker driving, we bought a local shop, the wife and I, Elaine. She ran it. It was a newsagent's, little grocers. So we're taking about £700 or £800 a week, if that, and we turned that up into quite a good business where we were probably £2 and £3 grand a week, but we had to make that into an off licence. That's 7 days a week. I was working, coming home, helping out. We had a couple of friends that worked there, obviously had to pay them, but it was long, hard hours, something I would, looking back in my life, it gave me a nest egg when we sold it, but would I want to do that again? And I'd have to say no, not. Yeah, it's been stopped. I actually started a few years ago, met some people I'd never played with before. I'm still friends with them now, I'm glad to say. I've met some real lovely people. That is one thing, when the shutdown cut, you miss these people. They become mates, they become like, that's one thing when you retire. You do miss the camaraderie with workmates. The walking football has brought that back for me because I've made great friends with some. We miss that, and obviously the playing of football we've always done. Walking football, different, I have to say it's different. It's walking football, no contact, no running, but it's a tremendous thing to get out there to do similar to what we used to do at this age.
Is there anything about the game you'd like to change?
How do you change people's competitive spirit, the will to win? It does, especially in competitions. I do see people go a little bit over the top with that will to win. I do understand it, but one or two do take it a little bit to the extreme.
It's going.
Well, it's going to be a step-by-step situation because we can't just go out there all 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 aside like, you know, playing normal walking football like we have done. We're going to have to social distance, we're going to have to probably, we were talking of maybe a training sessions just to get in small groups, just to get us back there, getting a little bit fitter and what have you. That is something you miss, your fitness levels go, you put a little bit of weight on, but we do need to take precaution, which is what I'm sure we'll do when we do get back.
Yeah, we'll be doing temperature checks and we'll be disinfecting the balls after each session, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for the club we are, the measures we're taking, I think, are absolutely brilliant. There won't be many other walking football groups that are going to do that. Yes, I'm a little bit better at DIY than I thought. I've done some painting jobs and different stuff around the house, not too much. Mainly the garden. I've always loved gardening, but I'm a fine weather gardener. I'm not one of these that would do it in the rain or anything like this. No, the garden, it's looking nice, but you need to spend time outside doing stuff. I'm not one of these that would sit in during the day and watch telly, especially the weather we've had. It's been unbelievable, and that's been a real bonus, I think.
That's helped us all, I think, hasn't it? Okay, so have you got a last message for the guys when you see them again?
No, well, I hope we're all back soon and get playing. You know, I hope you all come back healthy, and I'm sure one or two will have put a few pound on and join us, keep in touch with us on the websites, because if we get these training sessions up and going, it will help you when we do start.
Yeah, wise words, Dave. Thanks very much indeed in this lovely location here by the side of the Peak Forest Canal. And we'll go and see Tony now, mate.